Step two is came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. The insanity is the unmanageability. So we're really trying to achieve manageability. So what is this power that's going to help us achieve manageability? Well, I cannot achieve manageability. Therefore, I am not a power great enough. So I didn't create myself. So, I didn't create myself. Obviously, something created me. Therefore, that's a power greater than me. There is countless powers greater than me. I don't understand the question, do you believe in God? I guess to a degree, if somebody has put God in a box and made it this deity, the answer to that question would be, no. However, the power that's creating people and the earth and stars and all these other things, the power that already exists, I call God. So I call that which already exists God. So when someone says to me, hey, do you believe in God? That's like, I don't know. Do I believe in myself? Like, I think I'm here. I think you're there. I think we're here. Therefore, it's like, do I believe in God? I'm like, well, as much as I believe I'm here right now, I believe in God. Some out there believe that the opposite of fear is faith. In a thesaurus, that is the case. However, from a biological perspective, seeing as how this unmanageability is a biological problem, the opposite of fear is love. And that is a response from birth, from childhood. I'm afraid of something that happens right away. In a stress response that the body is occurring from fear, it releases hormones like cortisol, norepinephrine, this cocktail of hormones in response to this fear and this stress response, which, makes me feel full of anxiety and stress and fear and all these things. And it's also interesting to see that love releases dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin. So love can counteract. In fact, oxytocin can actually cancel out cortisol. So love is a power that's greater than fear. At step two, that is the greater power I'm acknowledging for the sole purpose that love can overcome fear and that oxytocin cancels out cortisol. And, just looking at all these things, when I have love and support, fear is, if it's even still present, it doesn't affect me as much or have power over me. So it's very interesting to see. There was an experiment done with rats. There's been plenty of experiments done with rats, but, there's the one about Rat Park where the rats, when they're together as a community, they don't use drugs to the point of suicide, and when they're alone, they just repetitively use drugs and cannot stop or do not stop. And that's very understandable. The conclusion was a rat alone in their cage is very overwhelmed, scared, isolated, and the only way that they can feel good is to put the substance into their body, which absolutely makes sense. If you're alone and you're scared and you're isolated and you have access to drugs, it makes sense to me. However, they've said that that experiment was erroneous and that it had flaws. And so there's another experiment I'd like to reference, which is an experiment where they were giving rats, heroin or methamphetamine, and then later introduce the opportunity for this other lever to be pressed that they get to see another rat. And so what eventually happens is, they learn, hey, this is going to give me heroin or methamphetamine, and this is going to allow me to see another rat and socialize and get that connectivity to the other rat. And so that they started choosing the other rat. Even if they had been continuously using meth or heroin, they preferred having interaction with another rat, which is powerful. Just the same connection and the same thing that releases that love and those chemicals in human beings as well. There's something going on. There's all kinds of chemical reactions and things unseen through socializing and interaction and connection. However, humans are a little bit more elaborate than rats. The interesting thing is that while love is this greater power and can conquer fear and provides this support, it's not a thing that's just controllable. Love is organic and it's natural, and it occurs through natural interaction. There's not going to be love between two people that haven't put in the necessary effort and action and behavior to create that connection. So it's not as simple as just pushing a lever and seeing another person, because at first it can cause fear, meeting a new person or not connecting with them, or them being different. So it's not as simple as just seeing another human. This love that exists in us, it lives inside of all of us. God is love, and God is this power. However, and it lives inside of us. However, we don't have complete control over it and are not able to dominate it, because we are not God. This is something that has to happen through organic methods. So I can come to believe in this and know that, hey, love can conquer fear. However, coming to believe that love can conquer fear and that there is this greater power is just scratching the surface, because once again, the self-knowledge avails us basically nothing. I would say it avails us some, but the knowledge of this is not enough. Here, I'm not powerful enough on my own. I need something to help me. Here is this idea that there's something more powerful than me, and that can be shown to overpower that. And I really just have to have a little bit of faith. As long as it's not zero, the Bible says like a mustard seed of faith. On a spectrum with 0 to 100, I just have to be anything greater than 0, because my belief doesn't really mean much. Whether it's 0.1 or 99%, the belief itself is going to do nothing without the action and the effort needed to be put in to generate love and experience love. So just believing in love or knowing the idea of love, it's not sufficient enough to conquer the fear, just knowing about love and that it can conquer. So I just have to have enough faith to move on, in the sense that it's like, okay, I believe love can conquer fear, even if that's just a fraction of a percent. That's step 2 in a nutshell.